Welcome back to Topic Thursday. This week's topic, Christmas. Eli J. Brownie asks, are there any characters you would have wanted to see in Mickey's Christmas Carol? Since I do see a lot of characters that I already like in that special, I'm not quite sure how to answer that. DCQT8CB asks, what do you have in mind for a Christmas present? Usually I ask for the same thing, drawing pads and sketchbooks. Since I draw practically every day, I figured it's best to ask for things that I use. Frankfurt the Orange E2 Productions asks, what's your favorite Christmas tradition? Without giving too much away, I say that my favorite tradition has to be going to my uncle's family's house on Christmas Eve to open presents, and then opening presents at our house on Christmas morning. Favorite Christmas movie? I'll say one of my favorite Christmas movies is A Christmas Story, since it's one that I've grown to love since I was younger. What was a memorable Christmas you've had? I would say that one Christmas that was memorable was when my family and I rented a 2-story cabin in the mountains. It was certainly very cold, but it was also interesting spending Christmas elsewhere, especially with extended family. James Pax 531 asks, which adaptation of How the Grinch Stole Christmas is your favorite? If I was allowed to pick a tie, then I'd choose between the 1960s animated one starring Boris Karloff and the live-action one starring Jim Carrey. I haven't seen the Illumination one with Benedict Cumberbatch, so I don't have an opinion on it. Do you know anyone who's acted like Ebenezer Scrooge? Not that I can think of off the top of my head. What's your favorite of the Rankin Bass Christmas specials? I would say A Year Without a Santa Claus, mostly because of the Snow Miser and the Heat Miser. See? Powerpup97 asks, favorite MLP Christmas episode? Definitely A Heartwarming Tale. It may be a bona fide version of A Christmas Carol, but I love it all the same, especially with it being a musical. If Clarabelle had her own story in Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas, how would you have liked to see it go? It would depend on who she's interacting with. Maybe we could also give Horace Horsecollar and Clara Cluck some time in the spotlight. I imagine Clarabelle trying to set up a holiday party for her friends, but after hearing of her friends being busy, she feels discouraged. When Horace and Clara come along, and they give her the motivation she needs, and together they spend the holidays partying with each other. Then, towards the end as a surprise, their friends stop by and bring gifts as a way to apologize to Clarabelle. And Clarabelle is grateful towards them that she even gives all of her friends gifts. Were there any Christmas presents you received that you didn't ask for, yet they changed your life for the greater good? Honestly, I'm not quite sure if I did receive a gift like that. Favorite modern contemporary Christmas song that's not a cover of a traditional carol? I think the one that most qualifies as that is Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You. It may play on radios a lot, especially during Christmas, but it is really good. Favorite character on The Star? I would say Bo the Donkey. Since he does a lot to the story and helps Mary and Joseph on their journey, he gets some much-needed recognition. What franchises would you like to see do their own Christmas Carol parody? I think it would be fun to see a Christmas Carol adaptation with characters from Eckhart. I'll even share a quick cast as to who would be whom. Boss Mouse is Ebenezer Scrooge, Ned and Shorty sharing a role as Bob Cratchit, Eckhart as Fred, despite the fact that they aren't actually related, and Thomas Fielding as Jacob Marley, Clara Fielding or Mavis as the Ghost of Christmas Present, Sir Oswald as the Ghost of Christmas Present, and Madame Thel as the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, and Sweeney Barnes as Tiny Tim. Just in case I misspoke, I wanted to clarify that it would be Clara Fielding or Mavis as the Ghost of Christmas Past. Could you provide a full list of all the Christmas movies and specials that are must-watches for you every year? In no particular order, All of the Other Reindeer, A Charlie Brown Christmas, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the same ones I mentioned earlier, A Muppet Family Christmas, Mickey's Christmas Carol, Edda and Eddie's Jingle Jingle Jangle, A Garfield Christmas Special, and the Homestar Runner Decemberween specials. What is the worst holiday film you have ever seen? This may be harsh to say, but I do have an answer. A Merry Friggin' Christmas. That's actually what the title is. It was a comedy drama from 2014 that starred Joel McHale and Robin Williams. My mom and I found it expecting a comedy, but it was more drama than comedy, and Joel McHale's character wasn't very kind. The Stuttering A016 asks, out of the Hamtaro Christmas episodes, which ones do you enjoy the most? I would say the first one, Merry Christmas. I remember seeing that one when I was young, and I remember the song that played towards the end. Out of all the Christmas Carol movies ever made, which one is your favorite? Asked Lighthearted Tamer 100. I would answer that with The Muppet Christmas Carol. For being Brian Henson's directorial debut, he really put together a masterpiece in adapting this classic story with the Muppets. And Michael Caine's performance is especially fantastic. Thanks for your questions!